Good afternoon. I feel completely wired, so I'm connected. I'm a frequent visitor of Australia. I'm a frequent visitor of China. And in China, during my dinners with people there, with deans and other professors at schools in Australia, I always brag about the European Fine Art Fair in Maastricht and André Rieu. And these are the two famous names. When I'm in China, I always brag about the European Fine Art Fair and Mark van der Gijs, because he's a well-known person in China, and we discuss frequently, of course, the alumni of the schools and also the collaboration between schools in the Netherlands and our school in particular, and the schools in China, and especially in Shanghai and in Beijing. I would like to start off now with a picture here, a picture of students. These are our students. These are students that won the case competition in John Molson University, Concordia University in Montreal. They won this case competition. So as a dean, I'm very proud of them winning an international case competition with competition from University of California, Stern, New York, and US, National University of Singapore. So I think we have a great bunch of students here in Maastricht. And these are bachelor students, don't forget that. So actually they won at John Molson last year, so this is the winning team. But also they won at Nanyang University in Singapore. And also they were second in the Champions League of undergraduate case competitions. So we're very proud of that. And recently, last week, they were second at the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, sponsored by Citibank competition. And they were second, right? So that's a pity, because we aim for the best, we aim for the highest. But we got very, very positive remarks from Ricky Wong, and he is CEO of City Telecom Limited in Hong Kong. He's an entrepreneur, also an investor, and he was very, very positive about the performance of our students. We prepared these students painstakingly during 1 or 2 years, 16 students, going all the way from preparation, trying to beat the jury, and also to get informed in the different countries where the case competitions take place. They always visit the local companies. They always visit the Dutch embassy to get the information ready. And if you're prepared in that way, the results will come, right? So we're very proud of these students. And this is the beginning of my lineup, actually, of argumentation, how I came to the ultimate initiative of setting up a service science factory. And I hope the pieces of the puzzle will come together in a minute. What is our most important asset here at Maastricht? Maastricht University. The largest faculty at Maastricht University is the School of Business and Economics, with 4,500 students. And this is our most important asset. So my thesis at this moment is that this is our asset, and not at first instance our professors, our infrastructure, our beautiful city, our environment, our region. No, the students are important. And students are also crucial in the initiative that I'm going to discuss with you this afternoon. So 4,500 international students. 40% of these students are Dutch, right? What is the strategy? And this is the only boring slide that I would like to share with you. This is the strategy of the UN and Maastricht University. And the strategy is along a couple of dimensions. And I forgot to tell something at the start. I was, and this also relates to Mark van der Gijs. And that's also a little bit of a funny story, because I was visiting Shanghai, and this is a little bit in between, right? Mark van der Gijs you were telling about the leadership in China, and the leadership and the way the Chinese lead their organizations. I was visiting a famous university in Shanghai, and I met the dean, and he was talking and bragging about his new building, and there was a gigantic picture on the wall, gigantic picture. And there was no signature. He said, you see no picture, no signature here on this painting. And why don't you ask me, why is there no signature? And I asked him, Zhongwen, why is there no signature on this painting? Yeah, he said, I did the sketch myself, and then I asked the artist to finish it off. So this is really a mentality that I learn and see in the approach that Mark was sharing with us, that Chinese CEOs would like to be on top of everything, even a piece of art in their new building, right? And then he was, of course, discussing the new buildings, the projects that he was initiating in Shanghai with investments in really infrastructure, etc., etc. So this was a very interesting meeting where I really learned how such a responsible person within the university structure could play his power play, and also how he led his organization and how everyone was accepting his lead as well. So this is something that I probably lack at Maastricht University, but never mind, right? So this is what Maastricht University stands for, leading and learning. And it's about multiple disciplines. We would like to be multidisciplinary. We'd like to combine disciplines, not only finance people or finance students, not only students that are specialized in marketing, not only engineers, not only medical people, not only doctors, right? Then connecting research and industry, connecting scientific research and industry. And that's the holy grail of maybe new business, holy grail of maybe new applications and really new successes for entrepreneurs. Fourth, truly international. Not only international in students, but international also in the networks. International in the way you do business, the way you educate, the way you train people. And then, of course, physical innovative environments. Not only a virtual, we don't want to be a virtual university without any bricks. We want to have bricks. We want to have a sort of a place where students can meet, where professionals can meet, where academics can meet. And small groups. So we, since 35 years, we train students in small groups. Actually, at the School of Business and Economics, we train 4,500 students constantly, continuously, in groups of 14. So we teach students, 4,500 students, in groups of 14. So imagine, so no big lecture halls like this, no, small groups. This is Young Mi Moon. He is at Harvard Business School, and they set up a completely new building, accommodating some very new structure. No horseshoe environment for case, for dealing with cases, and the famous Harvard cases, horseshoe, 50, 60 students. No, he established something very new. Small group teaching. Small group teaching, including academics, including people from business, including students. But we did it already for 35 years. So we trained to do that. So why not take advantage of that, of this movement where schools like Harvard and also Stanford try to bring together professionals, students, and academics, right? And this is the layout of their flexible study environments. Small groups, small settings, with in the middle an entrepreneur, with in the middle a professional, with in the middle a professor, with in the middle students, right? Okay, this is the second slide, a little bit boring maybe, but it is really the fundament under our strategy and our playing field, right? The top side is what we, as a school, can mean for society, right? What is the application? What is the, why should society bother, right? So we have a sort of a obligation to pay attention to that. Because we hide for many years in the lower quadrants, right? The academic research by PhD students, taking 4 years to do their PhDs, scientific research sublimated in theses that are pretty difficult to read, I can assure you. Leading academic institutions, so providing education on the basis of academic knowledge and knowledge that we have. But the knowledge is not as substantial as in the past anymore. Knowledge is more fluid. So we should link up with the upper quadrants here. So we should make a movement from the lower quadrants to the top quadrants. That's our strategy. And we do have institutes to make that happen, like the Center for Entrepreneurship, like Merit Organization for Economics and Technology, like ROA, the Research Institute for Labor Market, like EDGE for Finance and Sustainable Development. So we do have all these institutes, but it's not enough. We would like to do more. We would like to more integrate our environment into our business. Because this is our business. To give you an idea, School of Business and Economics is about a 60 million business, right? 60 million revenues, 1/3 from private sources, 2/3 from public sources. Okay, there is a gap. So mind the gap between academia and business. And I'm sure there is, because I walk this thin line for 15, 20 years now. We do a lot of collaboration with companies. My chair is sponsored by OC Canon. But it's not enough. We should do more. And there's a difference in pace, right? There's a difference in pace. Because PhD students and typical projects at universities will take 4 years. Why can't we do projects in 8 weeks? Or 3 months? Maximum. Why can't we do that? We do have the capacity, we do have the knowledge. Why are we not able to organize this? So 2 years ago we started to organizing this by establishing the Service Science Factory. It's a factory, and this signifies that we can do things within 8 weeks instead of the 4 years. Scholarly research, 4 years. Business research, 8 weeks. Why services? I was involved in 2007 with IBM and the University of Cambridge in setting up a new discipline. Discipline of the future, it was called. Service science. Because everyone is in service science. Holland has the Eli top sectors, where a lot of money goes in. So I have a plea for not putting money in manufacturing. Not putting money in bricks, but putting money in services. Because services will add value to the economy, and services, that is what we're good at, right? So Jim Sporer, he is the person who is in charge of the movement at IBM to develop service science as a discipline at universities, like computer science was the discipline of the 50s and 60s in the last century. Service science, they claim, and I also claim that, is the science of the year 2000, the 2010s, right? And this is his example, the example of Jim Sporer. He always says, no, the light bulb, but that's fine, that's a great invention. But you can't do anything with it if you do not have an infrastructure, if you do not have electricity, if you do not have other things. So it's about the development of the other things that adds value and is valuable in the market. So why these services? Even in China, 30% of the jobs or the national product is 30%, even in China. But in most Western countries, it's 70%. And why is it so interesting also for companies to get involved in services or to see your business as a service? Because that's even more important. I do not say that everything is services, but that there is something on top of manufacturing or products that is far more interesting than the product itself. The stable stream of income, if you develop services, if you feature services in your business. And of course the enhanced customer relationships. You are close to the customer. That's why IBM is interested to get close to the customer to really bring the added value there. By combining sources, to combine knowledge. So this is the background of the new idea of the Service Science Factory. And just give you one more example. This is an interesting machine, right? I know what it does, right? It's a small company in the north of Limburg, and this machine makes dough for bread very fluffy. That's the only thing the machine does. Making fluffy bread as the start for a production line and an oven. And they sell it to South Africa, to African countries, to South America. It's a high quality production line for bread. And I went there, and in the middle of their machine, in their factory, they have a bakery. And they bake bread. People from African countries coming over with their own wheat and bake their bread in the middle of this machine factory, where they put together this opbol machine, this fluffy maker. And talking to the engineers, they said, well, so our question was, what are you doing? What is your role? What is your task? And they said, well, you see the bread, if you look at the bread, and you see these cuts in the bread, it should be big enough, because otherwise it's not fluffy enough. It's an engineer who is doing the nuts and bolts, who talks about electricity. He did not talk about electricity, he did talk about the bread. And it's about the service that this machine provides to the investors of the bread machine lines in South Africa, right? So it's a service. You should think along the lines of service. So this is an example. Instead of the product and some services, because the product can fail and you have to maintain a product, no, it's the other way around. It's a service that you deliver and you need some products. That's the way you should look at the business nowadays. So that's why we set up the Service Science Factory. We would like to build teams to take advantage of all the knowledge that we have in-house or out-house to create service innovation. So what does the Service Science Factory look like, right? That's basically an institute, Tongensestraat 6. So it's in Maastricht. And we do have a support and hospitality unit. This means that we create an environment of innovation. That's very important. We create an innovative environment. We do research, scientific research. At the moment we have 3 PhD students. They do their 4-year projects, but they can also do the 8 weeks. We train them to do the 8 weeks. We take them out of their comfort zone and let them do the 8 weeks, right? Businesses. Projects, we do projects with these businesses. We did until now, we did 29. So I give you some examples. And education, we are setting up programs, educational programs, Executive Master in Business Service Innovation, for instance, with Rotterdam School of Management in Venlo. You see some information, you can see some information downstairs. So, and all sorts of training, master classes, etc. So 3 pillars here, research, business, and education. Then we discovered that design is an important aspect of developing new innovative services. And why is design important? Because it's very difficult to show something. It's very simple. A service is intangible. Like I need a lot of words now and pictures to describe what we are doing at Service Science Factory. There's also problems to try to make clear what the service is all about. And therefore we have people and professors from the Design Institute in Cologne. They're specialized in developing services and make services visible and tangible to help us. Typical team, academics out of their comfort zone, getting into these projects. Students getting out of their comfort zone in these projects, and also people from companies that do the projects are part of our team, right? So we have a team of 10 people, students, academics and professionals, and we make sure that this team is multidisciplinary. Again, we not only rely on students from Maastricht University, from the School of Business and Economics, no, we recruit students from engineering schools, Twente, Eindhoven, Aachen, but also Delft. We also get students from the Indian Institute of Management in Ahmedabad. We get students from Queensland University of Technology in Brisbane. We get students from Arizona State University. We get students from Sweden. We get students from Finland. We have a whole we do have a whole network of similar initiatives where we can rely on. So we put together a team of 10 participants, and we make it happen within 8 weeks. So that is the format. So we have to analyze, and that's what we typically do. We analyze these situations and these challenges, these innovative ideas. So I won't go further in details now at this moment, but this is the main line that we are using to develop the new service ideas. So first, there's a lot of fuzziness, a lot of new ideas, a lot of insights from different disciplines. We have project leaders that are trained to bring these ideas together and to try something, to try to challenge them in developing these innovative ideas. Shaping is the second phase, and factorize, it's the third phase, where concrete, visible service concepts are delivered.
Professor Lemmink.
Yeah.
You could give colleagues for hours, I think, and we really want to hear everything you have to say, but there is a next speaker.
Okay.
And he also is entitled his time. So could you wrap up in 1 minute?
Yes, I will do that.
Thank you very much.
No problem. These are the companies that did business with us. These companies like Siemens in Duisburg, Lufthansa, Frankfurt, but also Gemmelot, Ziggo, APG in Heerlen. So these are the companies that did projects with us, and together with these companies we developed these projects, right? This was my dream in 1976. Of course, in 2012 it's now, right? So, so actually I made a fortune. That is of course what I did in between. The Service Science Factory is a great success. And we would like to invite you all to experience how it is to be part of building bridges. Because this was my dream in 1976, and this is also the format and the institute that I established 2 years ago. And these are the people who make it happen. If you see the bottom line, these are the senior people, the professors at the different faculties at Maastricht University, and the most important part of the business are the people that you see on top of this slide, and these are the people who work in the Service Science Factory at the moment and can analyze and can help you with developing your ideas.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.